Hello everyone, I'm Tom Pitzen. Welcome to Tommy Media's The Locker Room. The 8th-ranked St. Thomas baseball team notched a 14-2 victory over the University of Northwestern on Monday in the team's regular season finale. The Tommies had already earned the program's 12th consecutive regular season MIAC conference title with 2 wins over Augsburg Sunday. The Tommies have won or shared the MIAC playoff or regular season crown in each of the past 19 seasons, and Coach Chris Olean is a perfect 4 for 4 in conference titles during his tenure as head coach at St. Thomas. St. Thomas will begin the MIAC playoffs on Friday in Minnetonka when they face St. John's. I'm joined today by Coach Chris Olean, left fielder Tim Kuzniar, and third baseman Jack Hogan. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks for having us.
So, Coach, 15 seniors on this team are graduating next year. What was it like to work with them as their careers progressed, and what's it going to be like to see them move on?
Well, I think it's a really good group of guys. Freshman year, we kind of threw them all into action and got beat up a little bit, and then every single year we've had them, they've improved, and they've gotten a little bit better and a little bit better, and we're just kind of looking for sort of that good finale to the career for these guys. They've worked awfully hard over 4 years, and I think our goal is certainly to get back to the World Series this year and make a little noise, but tough to look ahead when you have good teams in front of you. We just kind of got to take the next game that comes along. In terms of next year, a lot of new faces. We're going to be very, very young, and it's going to be a little bit like when these guys were freshmen. We'll make some mistakes, but at the same time, we feel we're going to be pretty talented.
And Tim, you reached 200 career hits, and you became only the 10th player in MIAC history to reach that. As a freshman, looking back, was this something that you kind of envisioned for yourself later in your career?
Not at all. Looking at my freshman year, I came in, didn't really know what to expect, and then, like Coach Olean just said, he kind of threw a bunch of us kind of into the fire right away, and just kind of took my opportunities as I came in. 200 hits was not on my radar my freshman year. It didn't really become a radar until this past offseason.
So at the beginning of the year that you were so close to 200 hits, was that weighing heavily on your mind?
Beginning of the year, not really. I knew I had to have probably one of my better years. I needed 40-some hits to get it at the beginning of the year, so it had a while to go. And then once we came back from our 3 trips that we did right after Florida, I kind of knew I was like, all right, this is time. I really have to bear down. It was kind of in the back of my mind up until I actually did it. And then once I did it, I'm glad it's passed.
Mm-hmm. And Jack, when you faced St. John's earlier in this year, you knocked out their starting pitchers. I think the longest one went 4 1/3 innings. So what does the team do to kind of make the starting pitcher work, and will that play into the game coming up?
Yeah, I think we did a good job. They threw either a freshman or a sophomore who had pretty good numbers coming into the game. In terms of knocking them out, it just comes down to performing as a complete lineup, the entire lineup. We have a pretty good top of the order, but I think the key is when the bottom of the order guys can work the count and put up good at-bats, we're a pretty tough team to beat.
And Coach, the playoff game, the MIAC playoff game will be played in Minnetonka on a neutral field. How does that affect the team going into this game?
Not too much. I think the big thing I look at is surface. It's all turf. We're used to turf. We play well on turf. For us, I don't think home and away matters all that much. Obviously, we had the nice long streak at home of wins, but when it comes down to postseason, it's always little things. You got to pitch well, can't give up free bases, can't make errors, and just come up with some timely hits. That's playoff baseball. So as long as we execute in those areas, we'll be fine.
And now it's time for this week's fan question. Tim and Jack, Junior Greg Kruger wants to know, what facet of your games has changed the most in your careers here at St. Thomas?
I would say for me personally, I made a switch from playing outfield to playing infield. So I'd never played infield before in my career. I was an outfielder at the school I went to my freshman year, and I was an outfielder coming in here at St. Thomas my sophomore year. Then making that switch my junior year to third base, we had a bit of a hole to fill there. So coach came up to me and proposed the idea, and it was sort of just a whole new game up there in the infield that I had to learn and progress with, each game and each practice. But it's worked out all right so far. So that's definitely what's changed the most for me.
For me, I'd probably have to say power hitting, I guess. I came in as a freshman. I was pretty weak, stuff like that, and I just hit a lot of singles. That's kind of all I did, maybe hit a couple doubles here and there. And then over, I guess, my 4 years, I progressed into hitting more doubles. And then my junior year, I had more home runs, but then this year, a lot of triples too. So just improving more power numbers, kind of having a better approach at the plate, and taking better swings and more like aggressive counts and hitters counts.
If you have a question, tweet it to @TommyMedia. Thanks for joining us. Be sure to check Tommy Media for the latest campus news. With Coach Chris Olean, Tim Kuzniar, and Jack Hogan, I'm Tom Pitzen. We'll see you next time in The Locker Room.